liberty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Alleluia to the hero who brought along the gather. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation, flowing rivers and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of His name.
Police entiers, mettez dehors. Ils ont formé un cordon sécuritaire pour empêcher les populations d'accéder à les bureaux de l'ECAP. Les manifestants estiment à l'ambiance qui prévoit actuellement ici. Non mais il faut qu'ils ne se démobilisent pas. Les gars là sont en train de faire quelque chose de très louche là-bas. Oui. Arrêtez.
Okay. My fellow Ambalanders, my great people of Ambazonia, I salute each and every one of you. And I salute especially our people of the great state of Mezam. Today I am going to be speaking to the people of Mezam, the great warriors of Mezam. I said a few days ago that I will be speaking to citizens of all the states, the 13 states of Amazonia, about the importance of the liberation tax. This is one of the first projects that I have launched on the ground in terms of resource mobilization. And in the past few weeks, we have taken the pains to explain the benefits of this new policy. Before I get into it, I also want to send special greetings to our forces in Mundemba for the great action that they carried against the brutal occupiers of our country. The Ambazonian people are grateful for the sacrifices that all of our forces are making. I send my greetings to our prisoners of war, all the brave men and women who have been taken into captivity by Cameroon and whose conditions of detention are alarming, inhumane, degrading, psychological torture, and even murder in jail. We remember your sacrifices, and we will do so forever. Ambazonians in the next 100 years will read about the sacrifices you have made and continue to make. My fellow Ambazonians, we are at war. We are at war. War is not explained. It is felt in terms of the pain it brings to a people. It is also felt in terms of the opportunity it creates to the future generation. We have been at war for 62 years with Cameroon, backed by an international conspiracy to rewrite our history and to eliminate us as a people. So today, I want to speak to the people of Mezam, why it is important that each and every one of them, whether you are at home or in the diaspora, to pay the liberation tax. This war is not going to be wished away. Propaganda will not end it. Denying it will not stop it either. Praying that it ends will not bring it to an end. The only way this war is going to come to an end is when Cameroon decides that its illegal presence in Ambazonia has come to an end, and like the Americans decided in Vietnam, they decided in Iraq, they decided in Afghanistan, withdraw their forces from Ambazonia, allow the Ambazonian people to take ownership of their country, establish a government for the Ambazonian people, by the Ambazonian people, a government that will serve the interests of our people and everyone else that lives within our territory and any other area subject to the jurisdiction of Ambazonia. The second way this war is going to come to an end is that our forces exact defeat on Cameroon in the battlefield and expel it from our land and establish a system that serves our people. We have been at war for 62 years, a war for our very own survival. And the people of Mezam have paid a very heavy price. At each phase of this war, whether it is the battle for democracy, the battle for the freedom of press, the battle for education, or is the battle for territorial control, the battle for free and fair elections, ghost towns, civil disobedience, lockdowns, boycotts, defense of leadership, hoisting the flags, drumming, whatever action that has been necessitated During each battle, the people of Mezam have paid a very heavy price because of their warrior status and because they have decided that resistance is the only way that any people can gain something. In the past 30 years, the people of Mezam have always answered present when they are called to action. Whether it was under John Frundi, we were there. We mounted barricades, we dug trenches, we poured engine oil on highways. We did everything to protect Mr. John Frundi from being kidnapped and shipped to Yaoundé. When it came the turn of the SCNC, the great state of Mezam after Fako hosted AAC2. During that period, we experienced all forms of battery, from water cannons, assault, killings, torture, kidnapping, harassment. We stood our grounds and established for ourselves then and for posterity the Bamenda Proclamation that laid a political pathway for the freedom of Amazonia. The people of Mezam have answered present when it has mattered. In the past 70 years, most of the toughest battles have been fought in the great state of Mezam. Some of the strongest defense groups, the EDF, the Boys of Nchomba, the Buffaloes of Bali, the Seven Katas, the Tabukwi Funds. These are the men and women that have taught La République du Cameroon in the most populated city of the state of Mezam, that Amazonia belongs to us. These are the men who have also sacrificed a lot. Some of our great fighters, General Bobe, Anaga, Gires, all of them, Iswil, they lost their lives on the streets of Bamenda in the defense of an ideal whose time has come, that of freedom for the Amazonian people. I come to Mezam today not only as a son of Mezam, but also as someone who has fought on most of the streets in the state of Mezam. I come to Mezam today because I believe very strongly that our freedom will come from Mezam. In Bamenda alone, there are almost 580,000 people. And if half of this population commit to the liberation tax, it is going to solve a lot of things. I know you're listening to me and wondering what it is going to solve. I know you are concerned about extortions, kidnapping for ransom, roadblocks, burning of homes by the enemy forces, Calais, rape by Cameroon's thugs, general insecurity, uncertainty in terms of the future of your children and their education. You are also concerned about the state of the general infrastructure of Mezam, the roads, pollution, in terms of the trash. Hospitals have become places where people go to die. And you're wondering how Amazonia will make a difference. We have stated severally that we are not only fighting to secure our homeland. The real reason why our people are fighting is to make sure we can establish conditions of life that bestows dignity to our people, that gives them hope, that rewards hard work, that ensures that any government established over the state of Mezam is going to care about the general state of the roads, ensure that hospitals are clean, that people have access to doctors, midwives, nurses, and are empowered through their own means or through the support of the state to acquire medications when they are sick. This is the future we are trying to secure. We also want to transform Amazonia and every state. Make it modern. Make it likable. Make you to be proud to say, I come from Alatini. I come from Alabukam. I come from Tuobo. I come from Chomba. Your culture is not only wearing the traditional regalia, eating achu, dancing bagalum, or boto dance. To secure your culture, you need to secure the land. If you do not have a land, it's just a matter of time before your culture is wasted. The enemy who takes over the land will impose new values, will change your language, will change the food you eat, will change the events you celebrate, will alter your way of thinking, will change your personality. Land is important for the survival of any culture and any people. If you look inside Mezam, take Bamenda for example. Cameroon, empowered by the DUs and the SDUs, is altering the demography of Bamenda. There are parts where Cameroonians have taken over. Whenever you will organize an election, they will vote for people that will represent their interests and their culture in your own land. They will pass laws that will determine whether you can own a land or you cannot own a land. They will secure business opportunities that favors them. Those who will make investment will make investment simply to secure profit. If we do not speed up our effort to secure our land, our own very survival, the survival of our different cultures, our fandoms will become history. It's a matter of time. You have seen, in the shortest time possible, funds have become politicians. Funds who are supposed to be the custodians of our tradition, our way of life, non-partisan, and protect every citizen, irrespective of your political persuasion. They have become supporters of political parties. They represent the interests of a foreign government in exchange for the security of their position for money. We have seen the great traditions of certain fondoms desecrated, with funds extending their hands to strangers. Our way of life, our culture is not only under attack, it is on the verge of collapse. A people without a culture are a people without a soul, and a people without a soul are living carcasses. My fellow people of Mezam, you may be living in the moment. You may get up in the morning, you go to the fields, you plow the fields, you plant your maize, you harvest your vegetable, you go to the market, you exchange it, you buy other issues like rice, gari, plantains, and you think that's your existence, that's simply your life. To secure the lives and the existence of your children, you must be concerned about the security of the culture that is a reflection of our own way of life. And for us to secure that culture, we must protect the land. We have seen the enemy, when attacked, they take revenge in burning homes. There is a reason. They want to deprive you of shelter. We have seen the enemy kidnap our men and women, transfer them into jails in its own country. You think it's only a security matter. No. It's re-education. The jails in La Republique are populated by citizens of Cameroon. 90% or 95% of the inmates are from Cameroon. The language of expression in those jails is French. The way of life in those jails is Cameroon. The patterns in those jails is developed according to the way Cameroonians live their lives. And I can assure you 100%, for the prisoners that survive Cameroon's jails, when they ever return into Amazonia, they think and act almost like Cameroonians. La Republique has a strategic plan, and that plan has been put in place since 1962. La Republique understands, to secure our way of life, you need to have an economic system that is built depending on our local realities, our way of farming, our way of trading, our monetary system, to ensure that we do not have access to credit, our citizens are not empowered to pay value-added tax that can be used to develop our communities. La Republique dismantled our economic systems and caused a human population movement into their own territory. You walk there, you pay taxes there, you buy food there, you buy beer there, you buy everything there. You increase the capital opportunities. You bank there. You create access to credit. for future entrepreneurs who are mostly Cameroonians. Access to credit, access to opportunities for Ambazonians dismantled. La République also understood from the beginning, a healthy population is a productive population. It dismantled our health infrastructure. Those that existed or survived were abandoned. They became dilapidated structures where diseases thrive. Women giving birth die every day because of infections. Those who are wounded, bitten by snakes, insects, have no opportunities. La République also knew the people who are not empowered, the people who don't have access to opportunities, cannot fight back. The next thing he did was to dismantle the political institutions. Political institutions are the institutions that make the laws in terms of the parliament, executive structures that enforces the laws, a judicial system that interprets the laws. Laws within a land are built through customary practices. The practices we have in the Mankonfondom, in the Nkwen, the Chomba, all of these places, they form the basis of the kinds of laws that are then created to regulate society. Some are unwritten. They are just customary practices that live through time and space. La République dismantled those political institutions. It took away the cover that we needed to hope, to dream. The political visionaries that can emanate from those institutions to develop policies and practices that will help our people. The greatest tools of development in every society are the ideas of the visionaries, the entrepreneurs, those who dare to invent, to think, to create, with no economic infrastructures, no access to credit, no good laws, no good health system. We were left to think our educational system will produce assets, people who can become the future engineers, people who can become the future thinkers of our society, the philosophers. No, they dismantle our institutions of education. Those which were not dismantled were corrupted. They built 4 walls called classrooms and forced our parents to take ownership through PTAs. That is how Cameroon brought us on our knees. And because we could still stumble and move forward, we thought we were walking. They corrupted all those who could stand for us. They bribed all those who could resist for us. They murdered all those who refused to yield or bend. They kidnapped and rendition those who fought back. They dropped grenades on those who threw stones. They raped all those with dignity, infected those with HIV, and made sure that the demographic shift, if not completed through massive movement of population, is completed through deliberate acts of killing. And we thought we were living. Those who had the means, they shipped their kids abroad, who never returned. Their only happiness was that they had lost their children to foreign flights, kids they will never see, they never hug. The interaction between parents, siblings, and others far away abroad was money, regulated by the same enemy. Those in the diaspora flew in time and again for few months. They spent lavishly. They had a few months of fun and returned back to their den where the suffering and toiling continue. That is how they brought us on our knees. And for those who stood up to fight back, our own population even sometimes complain that you're doing it too much. Just make some compromises. Just keep begging. The enemy has taken our entreaties for a weakness. When we begged, they return fire. When we appeal, they send helicopter gunships. When we march with olive branches, AK-47 bullets were flying over our heads like njam. They knew we didn't have guts. They knew we did not have patience. They knew we lived for nothing because our own value systems had been dismantled. They knew we were only surviving. They knew they had taken away our nationalism. They've made you to think being from Alabukam was a disgrace. Coming from Chomba was a disgrace. Having your name as Che was an abuse. To be called Lumobi was an attack. You denied your own self so you could look like the enemy. You integrated even without being invited. That's how shallow we went down. We lived for nothing. We had no conviction, no determination. We could not stand even for our friends. Ambazonians are the people who can die for their friends. They can't stand for their neighbors. An Ambazonian will give away his friends for little opportunities, will give away his name for anything, will give away his origin for anything. That's how cheap we became, just because we wanted to integrate and survive. That's how they turned warriors into beggars, Olympians into crawlers. People of Mezam, you have shown the world what it means to resist. From Toronto to London, to Washington, to Paris, to Enugu, Soweto, an unknown 8 million strong army has made its presence known. We insisted to be called Ambazonians. We insisted to sing an anthem. We insisted to fly a flag. In Oslo, they know where Alabukam is. People are proud now to say they come from Kwakwa. People are proud to say they come from Kogwe. Those traitors whose existence depends on your suffering are the sole enemies now we face. Cameroon is vanquished. Cameroon is defeated. I can attest to this as a matter of fact. Any country that claims to have ownership or control over the territory of other people should have the powers to organize elections, should have the powers to determine how things work, should not deploy the army in the middle of the city, should deploy the police, should have DOs, SDOs, mayors living in their homes, should have funds and chiefs it has bribed to stay in and show us that they are in charge. You know a country has lost control when it thinks it can use propaganda, when it thinks it can rally a few people to clear the bushes around schools it claimed it had control over. When it plows our street with armor cars, helicopter gunships, you know you are in charge when the enemy lives in fear, in armor cars. We have setbacks all the time. It's the nature of life. Even in your own family, your salary is never the same. Prices of fuel go up, your income doesn't go up. You have setbacks. You lose a loved ones. You lose a child. You fail on exams. You get sacked from your job. These are the normal things that happen to every people in life. For us Ambazonians, we have our setbacks. We gain territory, we lose territory. We lose fighters, we lose commanders. That's how wars are fought and won. And victory belongs to those who never give up. And I am proud to come from Mezam. And you can be sure that the spirit of the warriors of Mezam flows in my blood. My people, I know things are hard. I know sometimes you have questions and you want answers. I cannot promise you that heaven is next door. I cannot promise you that salvation is next door. But what I can tell you with certainty is that salvation is coming. Independence, within which you will have free medical care. It means if you are sick, you walk into a clean hospital, you are checked, prescribed medication, you walk into a pharmacy, pick the medication free of charge. It means you take your child to school. The classroom is small, has seats. All the books that the child needs is in the classroom, offered by the school, free of charge. And as if that was not enough, there is a well-equipped library for the child to acquire knowledge. And the next door to the library is a computer center where they can study online in what the Amazonian Education Board has put in place as the e-learning. That child can finish education, living in Tarinkon, finds a job in London, sits at home and work and earn a salary, hug you in the morning, say thank you mom, thank you dad, visits the friends in the next street, goes to the club, visits the market, live a life where they were born. And if they want to move, they move by choice. That's what we will offer. For us to get there, I need 100,000 people in Mezam to pay their liberation tax on the ground. It will secure us 1 billion if 100,000 men pay their liberation tax. 70% of this money will go to equip our forces, increase their numbers, so they can play both defense and policing duties to ensure there is no kidnapping for ransom, there are no illegal checkpoints for extortion, there is no harassment, pickpocketing, there is no torture of our people. A well-oiled army that can defend the territory, protect the people. 30% in this period of war will be invested in education and public health. We will deploy public health practitioners in all villages to make sure they can take blood samples to check if you have malaria, if you have typhoid. They do prescription where you can buy your medication. At Independence, we will supply the medication. They will check your blood pressure to make sure you have a health certificate so you know how sick or well you are. That is what we can offer now. You can be rest assured of my every word. For you in the diaspora, we have put a tax of $100 every year for all Amazonians in the Western Hemisphere, and $50 for all Amazonians and friends of Amazonians in the continent of Africa. We expect to mobilize resources to add to what we will mobilize on ground zero, to invest in the same triad issues which I have listed. Your tax from the diaspora is also your visa fee. Some of you have left out here and you've gone down. Surely you've landed in the airport of the enemy. You've driven on their dilapidated roads. You've paid ransom at airports every 5 kilometers. You've paid ransom to gun-wielding thugs. You've been harassed. You enter your own land. You walk on the same soil where Ebobe was buried. Somewhere in the neighborhoods, at the Amazonian Defense Forces, at the Tabokwifons, at the Buffaloes of Bali, risking their lives on a daily basis to make sure that land looks like the land you've left from. That you don't need to land in an enemy airport. That you can leave an airport and drive as quickly as possible to your home without any kale, without any extortion. If you ever doubted why they fight so you can go home before you die in exile. They fight so you can feel free to hop in and hop out. That's why they fight and die. That's their story. Should be told by them, not the propaganda of the enemy. You can't consume the propaganda of the enemy. In the great countries in which we live, daredevils rose up, bled, went to jail, were killed, fought until they had freedom. The Norwegians didn't stop there. They could speak Danish. They worked very hard to establish the Norwegian language. They preserved their culture. It is now, with 4.5 million people, one of the richest countries in the world. We will make sure Norwegians feel ashamed to be Norwegians because of the beauty we will bring to our country, the security in terms of health, infrastructure, education, hope, and happiness. If you ever doubt it up, if you commit, if you sacrifice, that dream is already here. God bless Amazonia. God bless all of you in Mezam.
The Amazonian special loyalty. Praise to our Savior who granted us the freedom. And led us to the hero who brought along the gathered. to glory we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty in our need, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
Non, gars, je dis le gars est en train de se leurrer. Tu sais, pour lui, tu sais, il est dans beaucoup de dessous. Il est dans des dossiers très noirs. Il est dans des dossiers noirs. Beaucoup de dossiers noirs. Surtout la crise anglophone, là. Et tiens-toi tranquille. Je crois que le gars était ici chez moi. C'est jusqu'ici parce que je suis à la maison. Je suis sorti là, revenu. C'est le soir que je pourrais faire encore un tour dehors. Mais étant ici, le gars a appelé parce que les gars sont sur trois plateformes. Il a eu l'échange sur place ici. Non, l'armée nigériane, l'armée tchadienne, tu sais que l'autre a passé une nuit. C'est hier qu'il est rentré. En fait, il est rentré hier, sortant du Tchad. Chiroma, quand les gars l'ont évacué, c'était à bord d'une autre voiture. Parce que quand les gars ont encerclé, les gars qui ont des voitures comme les Yango étaient une voiture fumée. Les gars l'ont évacué par là, ils sont partis. Il est allé rencontrer le président tchadien. Il est revenu donc peut-être avec une garde spéciale et une garde très rapprochée de lui, c'est la garde tchadienne. Les gars sont entrés avec lui et la recommandation du président tchadien, c'est qu'il ne doit pas être ailleurs que chez lui. Le gars est entré chez lui et les gars sont postés plutôt dans la toiture. Les gars sont postés à tous les angles de domicile de Chiroma. Et il a tenu ce discours présidentiel. Et apparemment, il y a la France qui a interpellé Biya. Mais le président Paul Biya a dit qu'il n'est au courant de rien, qu'il ne sait pas que son armée s'est déployée pour une quelconque ville. Alors, il dit que vraiment, là, on a interpellé de revoir ça. Donc, le soir, au journal de 17h ou au journal de 20h, et il faudrait qu'il fasse une déclaration pour limiter les dégâts parce que les hostilités, telles que les gars ont parlé en foufoudé, le gars m'a traduit ça, il a dit que non, que les gars font ce que sur Yaoundé. Et il y a l'armée centrafricaine qui est déjà non loin de Garoua-Boulaye. Les gars arrivent et disent que destination c'est Yaoundé. Et la personne visée c'est à Tangandji parce qu'on lui a demandé dans les déclarations qu'il a données à Tangandji et Ngongo, c'est des personnes que les gens voudraient aller extirper. Il y a 3 personnes qui sont visées dans un premier temps, Tangandji, Ngongo et Chantal. Oui, Biya dit, il a clamé son innocence. Il a dit que lui, en tant que président, chef des armées, il n'est au courant d'aucun déploiement quelconque. Et que jusqu'ici, il est très tôt. Mais si les sondages donnent Chiroma favori, mais qu'on laisse les trucs aller jusqu'au bout et que c'est celui qui a pris, effectivement, il faudrait que la volonté du peuple soit exprimée cette fois-ci. Cette fois-ci. Je te dis, donc là, c'est des sources un peu très indiscrètes qui nous servent ça donc à partir de 17h. Jusqu'à 20h, 21h, si vraiment les gens ne sont pas très intelligents, ce serait vraiment un bain de sang à partir de Garoua jusqu'à Yaoundé. Ça va faire très mal, très mal.
Sleep no be die, shake no day, shake no go come day. Until we reach Booyah, until we reach Booyah, we shall never leave our journey halfway, oh, until we reach Booyah. for November 2017. When Puwabia declare war for Ambazonia, our brothers and sisters them pick cutlass them. Our brothers and sisters them pin them guns for defend homeland. Them be talk say them go crash and buy in 2 weeks, but not 10 years now I'm counting. The Republic still nova fit crash and buy. Shame for la Republic. Sleep no be die, shake no day. Small no be sick, Ambalanda we country. Wata na wata, wata na wata. Small no be sick, Ambalanda we country. Shake no day. Chop fire, una tighty, una remember how this thing be there for 2018 now. Make una know the catch with people them for axing money. Make una know the beat with people them. Make una go back for respect with people them. Make with people them una first line of defense. Una go see say them go the LF, una give una information, even give una chop, give una money. Now so we want them, una di do a good job. We thank una for all the good work way. Una di do, Amba must be free. Sleep no be die, yeah. Shake no day. Small no be sick, oh. Amba that now we country. Wata na wata, wata na wata. Small no be sick, oh. Shake no day. Small no be sick, oh. Ambara now we country. Sleep no be die, yeah. Ambara now we country. Asawana, wana, asabuam, buam, esimili. Where them there? Make we jam and carry and go. Sleep no be die. Shake no day, shake no go come day. Ambara now we country.
From 1954 to 1961.
History has not forgotten that Buea was the headquarters of West Cameroon. History has not forgotten that Buea was the capital of Southern Cameroon.
Southern Cameroon was an autonomous country with its own government, headed by a prime minister with capital in Buea.
Southern Cameroon had its own parliament with the House of Chiefs. Southern Cameroon had its own airlines. Southern Cameroon had its own power station in Yoke. Southern Cameroon had its own police force. Southern Cameroon had its own seaport in Victoria. Southern Cameroon had its own currency,
The pound sterling. Unfortunately, our colonial masters, the British, convinced the United Nations for Southern Cameroons to attain independence by joining La République du Cameroun via a 1961 plebiscite. With a federal constitution. Article 47 prohibited the changing of the form of the federal republic. But La République du Cameroun changed the constitution through a 1972 fraudulent referendum of vote and yes. La République du Cameroun attained its independence on January 1, 1960 without Southern Cameroon. Southern Cameroon attained its independence on October 1, 1961. Republic du Cameroon has taken advantage of us. They have destroyed our economy. They robbed us of our resources. They robbed us of our basic humanity. On November 30, 2017, Paul Biya declared a war on us. They murdered over 60,000 of our grandparents, our brothers, our sisters, and our children. They